So you graduate from Morehouse in '96. You've got a few different entrepreneurial endeavors that you undertake in the late '90s, and then what changes? What makes you go in a different direction?
What changed? I think I did a lot of stuff too. I mean, I although I said I never worked a corporate job, but I think it's important for people to know as an entrepreneur, you're willing and ready to do anything that it takes to stay afloat. So I literally washed cars. I had a friend who had a mobile car washing service, and I joined him, washed cars. I valeted cars. I did whatever it took to stay afloat. And then I determined that I wanted to complement, all of my practical, real experience in entrepreneurship. I wanted to complement that with, a theoretical side and an educational side. So I went to business school and got my MBA from '99 to 2001.
At Clark Atlanta University.
At Clark Atlanta University, yeah.
And how did that change your life?
Well, it changed my life in two ways. It gave me an understanding of, kind of empirical, understanding of, business. And so it really allowed me to, have a breadth that I may not have had otherwise. So to understand the theory behind marketing and understand finance and understand business management and IT and all the things that a business is, composed of from an educational perspective gave me a whole another dimension to my career in entrepreneurship. So that's the first thing it changed. And then the second thing is where I guess one of my most successful ventures came out of is being in business school with another classmate who was embarking upon a career in real estate, and asked me to join him and another gentleman who would eventually become my business partners in real estate development company.
And so you're in grad school, you're learning the theoretical side to join the hard life lessons you've been learning in entrepreneurship, and then through networking, which tends to happen in business school, you were introduced to two other individuals who are getting ready to launch a real estate business, and you say, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they to a certain degree invited me to be a part of it, and then I began to explore it. And then as soon as I graduated, joined them after, I graduated in May, and I think July 15th, I was working every day on this real estate development company.
And what company is that?
That company was called JLW Homes and Communities.
And now I remember, so I went to grad school a year after you, and so I know a lot of these individuals too. And I remember at that time in the economy, it felt almost like houses were being handed out like candy.
Yeah.
And this unbelievable boom in building and the ability to acquire a house was taking place. And talk to me a little bit about what's going on at that point in time, how that's leading to your success and the company's success, and where the company is going.
Well, yeah, at the time George Bush was in office, we had a Republican who was in favor of deregulation, and so both in favor of deregulation and who was also a proponent of home ownership. So there was this vast kind of overtures and policy that really fueled and encouraged home ownership, which then led to the mortgage industry allowing for dead people to get a mortgage and beyond. So yeah, so if you're talking about fueling home ownership, then yeah, I mean at the time it could not have gotten any more robust than that. However, in retrospect, and even along the way, you look at it and you understand that it was not a healthy market, and that, I think we were in the right place at the right time to take advantage of it. And I think we had the we had the components amongst ourselves, and the relationships, the political relationships which we were beginning to develop, to put ourselves in a position to build a brand and really build a company. But during that whole venture, there were still a lot of things that I could intuitively see as an entrepreneur, and the things I learned in business school, to know that a good market in that sense was covering a lot of mistakes. And so when it's a capital intensive business, and we were making a lot of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're doing everything right. And so I spent a lot of time, even knowing that the company was not fully functioning the way it needed to be. I spent a lot of time studying publicly traded companies, home building companies, and Fortune 500 companies that were in Atlanta, and spending a lot of time understanding processes and policy, making inside of companies, and just the culture, understanding what, a good culture would be for, in our case, a development home building company.